Hey, house guests. Welcome to today's Big Brother 22 updates and spoilers. Woo! I got my Mr. Rogers sweater on and I'm ready to party. So, our house guests of the day are Mike Ames, aka Santa, and Laura Aday. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much. So, thank you all so much again. You're amazing. And if you guys want to be house guests today, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. My sister was over here today and she left such a nice little note on my notebook today. She said, "You're doing a great job. Love you." Thanks, Chris. Okay. And before we get going here, I also want to thank yesterday's super chatters because you guys are amazing and we also could not do this without you. So Jefferson Tucker and Dan and Sarah D, thank you. Thank you all so much. You're amazing. That might be my grandma. Hopefully, Mom will pick that up if it's her. Anyway, I see we also have a super chatter from today. Jody Cortez, thank you so much. And Jody said, "Wow, last night's feeds just be dead." Yeah, last night was rough, but for some reason, we actually have like some things to talk about today. I don't know where this came from, but when we left off yesterday, Nicole and Christmas up on the block. Cody won the power of veto, and he already told Nicole that he's bringing her to the final three. I've had the same when we left off yesterday for like the last week. But anyway, Christmas knows she's probably leaving tomorrow, but she's been campaigning to Cody. I gotta give her props for trying, right? So good for her. TV Talks with Tom, what's up? If you guys are not already watching his videos on YouTube, they're a lot of fun, so check it out. I can believe there's only a week left. What am I saying? I can't believe we have a whole week left. Laura G, thank you so much for the super chat. You are amazing, and I will try to keep up the mediocre work. But anyway, Nicole was with Cody in the key bedroom, and Nicole makes her pitch, which seems kind of weird, right? Because we know that Cody's keeping Nicole. We know, but I'm almost wondering if Big Brother was like, "Hey, we're trying to make a show here, so if you could like do something game related, that'd be great. We just love that. Maybe we'll throw a few extra dollars your way." I mean, really, it just seems so weird. But anyway, Nicole tells Cody, "You and I have been working together since day one. I've had your back this entire season." And she's assuming that Cody will win part one of the final HOH competition because that's what they're all doing. They're all assuming it's going to be Cody, which is just, what if somebody else wins? You never know. So Nicole says, "I think I'd have a good chance of beating Enzo in part two of the HOH competition. And if I win the whole thing, like, I would take you to the final two." So Cody is trying to get Nicole all riled up, and he's like, "I believed Christmas a lot more when she told me the same thing." Cody gets in these moods sometimes where he just like messes with people, and it's like a little bit obnoxious. I don't know. But he's just messing with Nicole, and Nicole says, "That's definitely not the truth. Christmas would not take you to the final two. I'm taking you to final two, ding dong." And she tells Cody, "You better take me to the final three or I'm going to be pissed." So then Cody's telling Nicole about Christmas's pitch, and Nicole keeps promising, "I will take you to the final two." And I think she probably would. I don't think that she would cut Cody, even though she could definitely beat Enzo, I think. But she says to Cody, "If you keep me around, you will have a 100% chance of going to the final two because Enzo and I will both take you to the end." So Cody continues to mess with her for a little while. Blah, blah, blah. He's keeping Nicole. Okay. Let me just give a quick shout out here. Jefferson Tucker, thank you so much for the super chat. Be sure and check Patreon for my shot at... Oh, are you writing the lyrics? I will definitely look at your suggestions. Thank you. Oh my goodness, you guys. You're amazing. Annie Tenny, thank you so much for the super chat. "So what do you think will be on Friday's episode? Thanks for all you both do." I think that Friday's episode will have the what's it called? Luxury competition that they did before the nominations. I think they're trying to make filler for that. Filler. So I think that'll be on Friday. I think Friday will also be like a walk down memory lane situation where they talked about some of the outrageous things that have happened this season. All right. But thank you for your question and for the super chat. I may as well just answer all these right now, right? Why not? Vajra, thank you so much for the super chat. And they asked, do you do YouTube full time, or do you also have another job you work at on the side? That's a great question. I have a bunch of different things going on. YouTube is my like full-time job, but I also work as a dance teacher, which I haven't been doing since everything with the pandemic. But that's not really a huge part of my work. That's mostly like for fun now. But I also work on TV and I was going to say movie shows, TV shows and movies as a background actor. And when I can get it, I like to work as a stand-in because that's way more interesting, and it pays better. But yeah, that's what I do. But YouTube is my main gig. Thank you again for the super chat, and thank you for asking. And Jody Cortez, thank you so much. And Jody says, rumors of a winter celebrity BB. You think so? I'll take it, right? We need something. We need some sort of entertainment. Hopefully they would be more entertaining than this bunch. Kevin Charles, thank you so much for the super chat. And Kevin says, Enzo clipping Cody at Final 2 would make up for the whole season. Let's not get too crazy. I mean, it would definitely be exciting. And I think it would be a slam dunk win for Enzo, but I don't know that it'd make up for the whole season. I mean, it's a long 3 months, but yeah, I see what you're saying. It would definitely make things interesting. Thank you again for the super chat. All right. So, meanwhile, we've got Christmas checking in with Enzo in the HOH room. And Christmas says, I'm sure Cody hasn't told you anything about what he's going to do. But if he has, like, let me know. Cody has absolutely told Enzo that he's getting rid of Christmas. But Enzo is not going to be the one to tell her. He doesn't want to be responsible for all that. So he is keeping that under wraps. And I'm sure he's also kind of hoping that Cody will change his mind and keep Christmas around. Because Enzo knows that Christmas is better for his game. So Enzo says he has been ever so gently trying to massage this to Cody, trying to convince him slowly that Christmas should stay. So he's telling Cody, look, you won the power veto. It's your decision, but you know who the better player is and who would be easier to beat. So he says, Nicole's a champion. This is go time for her. You know, this is where she thrives. So Christmas says Cody hasn't really been indicating anything to her about what he's going to do. He wants you out. Okay. Enzo says, Cody knows that I want you in the final 3. And Enzo admits, I don't really have a relationship with Nicole. Not a game one anyway. So then Christmas starts talking about how she's been campaigning to Cody and how it's going, what she's saying. And yes, guys, there is an episode on Friday night, apparently. That's what the guide says anyway. I'm surprised Julie didn't mention it last Thursday. They haven't said it, but I'm pretty sure it's happening. So yeah, Christmas is talking about her campaigning, blah, blah, blah. And then Enzo is trying to give her advice for her future campaigning. He's telling her, throw me under the bus. You know, do whatever you got to do to stay. I don't care if you throw me under the bus, Cody. It's not a big deal. So Christmas is like, I get what you're saying, but she's kind of scared that if she does that, Cody will think she went dirty. So she is always talking about how she's loyal and she's trying to play a clean game and stuff. So then if she does a 180 and she plays dirty by throwing Enzo under the bus, she doesn't know how Cody's going to take that. And she doesn't know how to play this situation. So Enzo's like, just kindly, easily throw me under the bus. He acknowledges there's a fine line here. Okay. So Enzo's saying, make whatever deals you can. And once you make it into next week, it's a whole new slate. Is that how it works? I mean, if you're a liar, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, like, would she do that? I don't know. So Enzo's also saying, tell Cody that you and him are both better competitors than me, and that you guys can work together to take me out and get rid of me. And Christmas says, yeah, that sounds good. Also, she's been pushing that Nicole will win if she makes it to the end. So then Enzo starts talking about how he kind of regrets winning that night moves HOH because he's wishing that Christmas won it, because then they could get rid of Nicole, right? So Enzo says, I wanted you in the final three, which is true. Like, in his ideal situation, he would have been in the final three with Christmas and Cody, because he feels like both of them would take him to the end. And Enzo knows it's going to be a hard argument for him to make against Cody or Nicole at the end if he even makes it to the final two. So Enzo keeps encouraging Christmas to keep on campaigning to Cody, do what you got to do. And he says, I'm going to keep massaging it, trying to make it happen for you. And he also tells Christmas, you know what? Why don't you bring up how in season 16, Cody got rid of Nicole, and say to Cody, don't you think Nicole's going to want to try and get you back for that? I don't think she will. But he also says, tell Cody, if you save me, I'll be indebted to you. I will take you to the final two. None of this stuff is going to work. Enzo says that Cody is probably just going to blow smoke up her butt for now. But Christmas is like, yeah, I get it. But she feels like she has a plan moving forward. But they both agree it's not looking good for Christmas. But she says, like, I want to exhaust all my options. I want to fight until the end, because I don't want to, be sitting at home and thinking like, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that. So she's going to try, and I got to respect that. So after this conversation, Enzo talks to the cameras, and this is probably the most interesting thing we have to talk about today. This is kind of like, So Enzo says, I gotta win a comp, yo. That's all this comes down to. He says, win one of these competitions, and then I'll be in part 3, the questions. And then at that point, I'll figure out who the F I'm taking if I win. Oh? So it's not just automatically Cody? Interesting. So Enzo says, Nicole's not sweeping shit, yo. He's talking about jury votes. He says Nicole would get like 2 or 3 votes, if that. Oh? Maybe against Cody. I think she'd get more against Enzo. Just saying. But it sounds like Enzo is not 100% set on taking Cody to the end. He might cut him, so that's interesting. But Enzo says Nicole has not done enough to win this game. She made it to the end because most of us carried her here. Which is kind of funny coming from Enzo, who, has he done that much? I mean, he's played a great social game, but hasn't Nicole kind of as well? I don't know. Whatever. So Enzo also says it's crazy because Cody's my guy. I love Cody. I want to be sitting in the final 2 with Cody. But is that the piece to my puzzle? The final piece to my puzzle? Getting rid of Cody? So this could all just be big talk again from Enzo, like we've seen all season. I don't want to get my hopes up here, but he asks, do I have enough friends in the jury to beat Cody? No. Did I do enough jury management to beat Cody? No. But I have to say, if Enzo cuts Cody, that's a slam dunk. Like, that's a huge thing to have on your resume. I think the jury would really give Enzo a lot of points for that. And in that situation, he would probably beat Nicole, right? So Enzo says, it's not going to be easy, man. Cody's a beast. Nicole's a beast too. So, like, even if he was thinking about potentially getting rid of Cody, he's got to win the final HOH to do it. And I don't know what his chances are like of doing that. But anyway, the house guests played like hide and seek last night. Okay. Nicole seemed to be having a panic attack. She was complaining about chest pains, which is super scary, but she's okay, so that's good. And then Christmas pulled Cody aside to chat in the key bedroom. So Christmas is like, I don't want to bug you. I just want to keep touching base with you. We're down to the end now, so I want to, clean some shit out. I want to tie up some loose ends here. So Christmas says, yes, I did come here to play in the competitions, but I'm also here for my family, and I have to do whatever I have to do for my family, for me to make it to the next round. So guess what? It's time for Christmas to throw Enzo under the bus. So she's explaining basically like why she wouldn't want Enzo at the end. She's also implying that like Enzo would not take Cody to the end. So Christmas was talking about how furious she was at Enzo for nominating her this week. We saw that. She was very upset. And she says, Enzo told me after his first HOH that he would never put me up on the block again and that he owed me. Because remember, Christmas basically volunteered to go up as a pawn that week. She talks about how, she talks about the voting blunder during the triple. She thought that Enzo was on board to evict Nicole, and then he didn't. And when that happened, she was like, what the F? He really screwed me over there. He put my game in jeopardy. And she says, fast forward to the pumpkin seesaw comp. She says Enzo threw that because he knew that he was in good standing with everybody else who was left. So he didn't want to win that one. I think he kind of just sucked at that one. He might have been trying to throw it, but like, I think he also just sucked at it. So she also says during the night moves competition, Enzo wanted me to squeeze you out. He wanted me to do what you did to me. He wanted me to do to you what he did to me. How Cody was like attacking Christmas during that comp. So Christmas says, I thought he was gonna do that with me and help me get you out, but he bounced. So I was fighting by myself when he was off on his own. So Christmas says, Enzo expressed to me that he wants to go to the final 3 with me because he feels he can't beat you or Nicole with the jury. And she says Enzo feels that he has the best chance against me in the end. In a way, this almost makes it sound like Cody should evict Christmas, right? Because Enzo's going to want to take her to the end. But the other side of it is Christmas saying, like, Enzo betrayed me all these times, so I want him to go. Like, I would take you to the end and not Enzo. But it doesn't, like, why would Cody trust Christmas? Why? It doesn't make sense. But she's trying. So Christmas is again promising, I will take you to the final 2. You know that I'm loyal until I'm given a reason not to be loyal. The reason is $500,000. So Christmas says, I don't know what you need from me to ensure you that I would keep my promise to you. I'm not even asking you to take me to the final 2 if it's up to you. Do whatever the F you want in that situation. I just want the opportunity to try and get myself there. You know that you would beat me in the final 2. So Cody, in response to all this, is like, yeah. He's still not saying what he's going to do. He says he needs to think about everything, but like he's still planning on voting Christmas out. All right. So then Big Brother gave them some beers later. Everyone was hanging out. Nothing like too crazy there to report. But later, Christmas talked to the cameras alone, and she confirms that she would follow through on her promise and take Cody to the final 2. This was surprising to me, but the reason was probably the most surprising thing. So she says, you know what? I've been burned by Enzo 3 times. He straight up betrayed me. So she says, yeah, Cody's won more competitions and had a good social game, but I just like can't take Enzo to the end after that. Like, I'm not going to reward that. And I was like, what? So that sounds insane. Like, I don't think she would beat either of them. I don't think she would beat anyone left, honestly. But like, she'd have more of a chance against Enzo than she would against Cody. Like, nobody's gonna beat Cody, right? So I don't know. She'd probably lose either way, so it doesn't really matter. But like, damn, wild. Okay, so today, not much going on so far. Christmas and Nicole packing. Cody was practicing his speech to evict Christmas, so we know where he's at this point. We've known it all week. And yeah, the eviction is tomorrow. So it'll be interesting to see if Christmas makes any more attempts, campaigning to Cody. We'll find out. I'm sure she's still going to say something, right? She hasn't been doing like these long, drawn out conversations. It's been like a few minutes here and there. But yeah, so that's it. But I want to thank you all so much for being here. You're amazing. Oh, Jessica Noe, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, one of your jobs should involve singing. That's so sweet. Thank you. As for BB, why am I rooting for Nicole? I mean, obviously, Cody deserves it, but I love when things are unpredictable. Anyway, thanks for the updates. You know, you make an interesting point there. I definitely found myself, too, thinking, like, wouldn't it just be, like, really entertaining if Nicole somehow won this whole thing?
No.
Thank you. I think, hi, babies. I think
over Cody, yes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the reason I was feeling like that, and I don't know if it was the same for you, because it just seems so predictable that, like, after this season, Cody would, you know, have everything still going his way. But we just went like this to Mom. You know, everything would be going his way, and he would just, like, easily win the whole thing. But, like, maybe Nicole could, like, jump in there and do something, or even now Enzo seems like he's not totally set on taking Cody to the end.
Say Cody sucks.
I do think he's the most deserving this season. But I'm also like, what went down preseason? What actually happened? I don't know. But I get what you're saying. I totally understand. So thank you again so much for the super chat. You're awesome. And I want to thank all of our super chatters from today. You guys are wonderful. And I'm glad that I was able to answer everybody's questions and everything, like, during the chat, so you didn't have to write everything down. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I always do. I wish that I could do that more often and just, like, chat with you guys in the moment, but I get distracted so easily.
She can't multitask.
Not very good at it. But anyway, Jody Cortez, thank you so much. Laura G, thank you so much. Jefferson Tucker, thank you so much. Annie Tenney, thank you so much. Vajra, thank you so much. Jody Cortez again, thank you so much. Kevin Charles, thank you so much. And Jessica Noe, thank you again so much. Lily, what do you think?
I want a piglet sweater.
Oh, yeah, I might be making Lucy a little piglet sweater. Oh, Jefferson Tucker, thank you again. Jefferson said, I'm voting for the beach ball to win. 5 minutes of airtime. Right? I mean, I feel like sometimes I turn on the feeds and, like, at least 2 out of the 4 cameras are just on inanimate objects because people will be napping or something. Like, there's just nothing going on. So it's wild. But thank you again. So we're gonna head out.
We're gonna pedal out.
Yeah. But I want to thank you all so much for being here. Tonight there is an episode.
Tomorrow night there is an episode.
Friday night there's an episode. What's gonna be on all these episodes?
Fillers.
Yeah. So be on the lookout for that puppet theater this weekend at some point. I need time to write lyrics, to lay down the track. You know, it takes time, but
post-production.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be up around the same time this weekend.
Sometime Sunday, I would think.
Probably Sunday, yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. AR Chan 1785. Thank you so much for the super chat. You are awesome. And AR Chan says, I enjoy your show so much more than the actual TV show. Thank you. That's so sweet. Thank you. And Gail Murphy Comedy, thank you as always. You are a legend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, guys, we're going to go for real. I feel like myself. I always do this, even on the phone. I'm like, okay, bye, bye. And then I keep talking.
I'm going to go paint some Mona Lisa now.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys for the recap tonight. So thank you for being here. And until next time, much love.